Picture this. You're talking to a woman who seems interested, she laughs, she listens, but there's no spark. She's engaged, yet detached, as if her heart is locked behind glass. You say the right things, you look the part, but she never truly chases. Then, one day, you meet a man who barely tries, yet women orbit around him like he's gravity itself. Why? Because he's not chasing validation. He's triggering a feeling inside them they can't explain or control. It's not love. It's not lust. It's something deeper. An emotional addiction born from polarity and mystery. This feeling is rare, ancient, and powerful. And once a woman feels it, she can't let go. She starts to think about you when she shouldn't, misses you when you're gone, and chases your presence like oxygen. In this lesson, we're not talking about manipulation or games. We're talking about the psychology of magnetic attraction, the one feeling that, once triggered, makes her chase you forever. Number 1, the power of mystery. Mystery is not about hiding. It's about revealing just enough. It's the art of leaving emotional space for curiosity to grow. When a woman feels she has completely figured you out, your routines, your reactions, your thoughts, her mind shuts down the same way it does after finishing a story. There's nothing left to discover. But when she senses there's more to you than meets the eye, she becomes invested in uncovering it. Curiosity turns into attraction, and attraction turns into emotional pursuit. Most men ruin mystery by oversharing. They fill silence with explanations, jokes, and self-disclosure, trying to prove they're trustworthy. But real trust doesn't come from talking. It comes from presence. A man who can sit in silence, fully grounded, without needing to fill the air, radiates quiet strength. He doesn't need to prove who he is. She feels it. And that feeling is infinitely more powerful than words. Mystery isn't distance, it's depth. It's the sense that your emotional world has layers, that your thoughts run deeper than the surface. You can be kind, warm, and open, but not transparent. You can share your life without exposing every detail. Leave something for her imagination. When she wonders what you're thinking, what drives you, or what you're not saying, that's when she's emotionally engaged. Think of it like music. A song becomes powerful, not because of the notes, but because of the pauses between them. The space creates emotion. In the same way, your silence and restraint create intrigue. You don't need to play hard to get. You just need to live a life that can't be easily summarized. Mystery also comes from purpose. When your energy is focused on your mission rather than her approval, she senses it immediately. You're not waiting by the phone. You're building something. You're not performing for her attention. You're moving with direction. That independence is intoxicating because it communicates one simple truth. You have options, but you choose to give your time intentionally. A mysterious man doesn't manipulate. He fascinates. His words are few, but his actions are deliberate. His attention feels earned, not given away. He listens more than he talks. And when he finally opens up, it feels like a privilege, not a routine. Mystery is magnetic because it reminds a woman that she doesn't fully own you. You're not a finished book. You're a story still being written. Every time she thinks she understands you, you show another layer of depth, another glimpse of something real yet unseen. That's how you stay in her mind long after you've left the room. She'll replay your conversations, wonder what you meant, and anticipate what's next. That emotional anticipation is the seed of pursuit. Mystery doesn't demand attention, it earns it. It's not about being secretive. It's about being complete within yourself. When you no longer need to explain or prove who you are, you become the man she wants to figure out for the rest of her life. Number 2, the power of challenge. Women don't chase comfort, they chase growth. A woman doesn't stay with a man because he makes everything easy. She stays because he makes her want to be better, sharper, more present. That's the silent power of challenge. It transforms desire into emotional investment. When she has to earn your attention, your respect, or your time, every interaction becomes meaningful. Most men lose attraction because they confuse kindness with compliance. They think being endlessly available makes them loving, but in reality, it makes them predictable. Predictability kills excitement. Women are drawn to men who have boundaries, who can say no calmly, without fear of losing her. When you hold your line with quiet confidence, she doesn't see rejection, she sees strength. And strength, to a feminine mind, feels like gravity. Challenge isn't about playing games or creating unnecessary distance. It's about showing that your energy has value. You don't offer it cheaply to anyone who asks. You don't reward inconsistent behavior. You're not rude or dismissive. You're selective. When a woman realizes that your approval can't be bought with charm, she starts to work for it. That effort deepens her emotional connection. A man who embodies challenge leads by example. He doesn't demand respect. He earns it. He doesn't need to raise his voice. His discipline speaks louder. When she sees that you have standards, not only for her but for yourself, she feels inspired to rise to your level. That's when admiration replaces comfort, and attraction transforms into loyalty. Challenge also means emotional steadiness. When she tests you, complains, or withdraws, you don't collapse or chase. You stay centered. You show her that your mood isn't dictated by hers. This calmness forces her to step up emotionally. It reminds her that you're not another man seeking her validation. You're a man secure in his own frame. Here's the paradox. The more a woman must earn your energy, the more she values it. People always protect what they invest in. When you give everything too quickly, she takes it for granted. But when she has to prove herself, even subtly, every moment of affection becomes precious. Being a challenge doesn't mean being cold. It means being anchored. You know who you are, where you're going, and what you stand for. You don't chase approval. You attract respect. And the more she respects you, the more she desires you. So stop trying to be the man she can easily have. Be the man she feels lucky to earn. Because the man who makes her work for his love doesn't create distance. He creates depth. Number 3, the power of recognition. Every woman longs to be seen beyond her surface. The world notices her looks, her smile, her achievements, but few people notice her essence. When a man can recognize not just what she shows, but what she hides, the quiet fears, the subtle changes in tone, the strength beneath her softness, he touches something sacred within her. That is the power of recognition, the emotion of being truly understood. Most men try to win women with compliments. They say, "You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're special." But these words fade because they touch her ego, not her soul. Compliments validate what she already knows. Recognition reveals what she thought no one could see. When you say, "You look calm tonight," like you finally let something go, you're not flattering her. You're understanding her. And that difference is what creates emotional intimacy. Recognition doesn't come from words. It comes from presence. You notice her energy, not just her expression. You listen between her sentences. You feel what she's not saying. When she says, "I'm fine," and you simply smile and reply, "You don't sound fine." You pierce through her defenses. You don't force her to open up. You invite her to. And once she feels that level of awareness, she starts to crave it. She starts to crave you. But recognition isn't about fixing her. It's about holding space for her to be real. When she's emotional, you don't rush to change her mood. You stay grounded and present. You don't make her feel too much. Instead, you make her feel safe enough to be fully herself. A woman becomes addicted to the man who can witness her emotions without judging or retreating. Recognition also means seeing her potential, not just her pain. When you notice her growth, her discipline, or the effort behind her calm, she feels appreciated, not analyzed. A woman wants to feel that you see the parts of her that even she sometimes overlooks. That's how admiration turns into connection, and connection turns into devotion. However, you can only recognize others as deeply as you've recognized yourself. A man disconnected from his own emotions can't truly read a woman's. When you faced your own insecurities and made peace with them, you gain empathy without weakness. You can see clearly without judgment. That's when your perception becomes power. Recognition is the rarest form of attraction because it speaks to a woman's soul. When she feels seen, not for how she looks, but for who she is, she softens. She stops performing. Around you, she doesn't need to impress. She can simply be. And that authenticity is what binds her to you emotionally. The man who can see a woman completely, her chaos and her calm, her mask and her truth, doesn't need to chase her. She'll chase the feeling of being seen by him again and again. Number 4, the power of potential loss. Nothing sharpens desire like the possibility of losing something precious. A woman may admire your strength and enjoy your warmth, but she truly values you when she realizes you could walk away. That subtle awareness, the sense that your world doesn't revolve around her, creates both respect and attraction. It reminds her that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. Most men destroy their value by becoming too available. They answer every text immediately, cancel plans for her, and constantly reassure her of their devotion. It feels loving, but it removes tension. When she feels absolutely certain she'll never lose you, she relaxes emotionally. Not in a good way, but in a complacent way. Passion fades where certainty lives. The opposite of neediness isn't coldness. It's detachment with presence. You care, but you don't cling. You give, but you don't beg. You're loving, but never dependent. When a woman senses that you love her deeply, yet remain centered in yourself, she feels a rush of admiration. She thinks, he doesn't need me, but he chooses me. And that is the sweetest kind of power a man can hold. Potential loss creates emotional awareness. When your attention feels earned, not automatic, she starts to appreciate it more. She texts first. She invests. She begins to protect what she feels could slip away. It's not manipulation. It's the natural psychology of value. What's abundant is ignored. What's rare is treasured. This dynamic only works when it's authentic. You can't fake independence. You must live it. Have a mission that fulfills you, friendships that ground you, and solitude that restores you. When your life remains full without her, your presence becomes magnetic. She feels drawn to your energy because it doesn't demand her. It invites her. Boundaries are another form of potential loss. When you calmly walk away from disrespect or emotional drama, you teach her that access to you is earned. Not through beauty or charm, but through peace and respect. You're not punishing her, you're protecting your energy. And that quiet decisiveness builds more attraction than any romantic gesture ever could. Remember, love without respect is dependency. Respect without challenge is comfort. But love, combined with the awareness of loss, becomes devotion. She stops taking you for granted because she feels, deep down, that you're not afraid to lose her, but she is afraid to lose you. The most magnetic men don't make women chase through games. They inspire pursuit through self-worth. When your time, focus, and emotions have meaning, when you treat them like rare currency, she learns to value them too. Because at the end of the day, a woman doesn't chase the man who gives her everything. She chases the man whose presence she can't replace. Number 5. The power of respect. Attraction may bring her close, but respect is what keeps her there. Without respect, even love fades. A woman might be drawn to your charm, humor, or appearance, but she only commits to a man she looks up to. Respect is the foundation of emotional security. The silent recognition that you are not easily shaken, that you stand for something bigger than yourself. Most men try to earn love by sacrificing respect. They bend over backward to please, apologize too often, or chase approval at every sign of conflict. But the truth is simple. The moment you seek her validation, she loses respect for you. When you start performing for her comfort instead of protecting your own integrity, she subconsciously feels you've stepped out of your masculine frame. Respect is born from self-command. A man who can control his emotions, especially under pressure, earns automatic admiration. When she's angry, emotional, or testing your boundaries, she's not trying to destroy the connection. She's testing its strength. If you can stay calm, grounded, and firm while still compassionate, you signal true leadership. She doesn't just love you, she trusts you. Respect also comes from consistency. Words mean little without proof. When your actions align with your values, when you say what you mean and mean what you say, she sees integrity. And integrity is irresistible because it's rare. A man who keeps his word, even when no one is watching, commands more attraction than one who makes grand promises, but breaks them easily. True respect isn't about dominance or control. It's about being anchored in principle. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to argue to be understood. Your calmness under chaos speaks for you. A woman respects the man who can listen without losing his center, who can forgive without being naive, and who can walk away without bitterness. Here's the paradox. The more you respect yourself, the more she respects you. If you tolerate disrespect, you teach her how to treat you. If you abandon your standards, you lose her admiration. Every time you enforce your boundaries with composure, you silently say, "I won't compromise my peace for approval." And that unspoken message draws her deeper into your orbit. Respect is magnetic because it provides something women crave but rarely find: stability in a world of emotional chaos. When she feels your strength, not as control but as calm certainty, she can relax into her feminine energy. She doesn't have to lead. She can finally trust your lead. The essence of masculine attraction isn't in how much you give, but in how firmly you stand. When your presence communicates discipline, direction, and emotional balance, she sees a man she can believe in. And belief is the most powerful form of love. In the end, attraction isn't about tricks, techniques, or manipulation. It's about transformation. It's about becoming the kind of man who moves through the world with calm confidence, quiet purpose, and emotional power. When you build strength within, you stop chasing validation and start radiating value. You stop trying to impress and you start to inspire. Women, success, and respect all follow naturally, not because you demand them, but because your energy commands them. If this message spoke to you, don't let it fade. Reflect on it. Live it. And if you want more insights about psychology, masculinity, and human connection, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and leave a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson that could shift the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you.